Well, joining us now is Atiba Madyun. He's the founder and president of the public policy consulting firm Party Politics US. Atiba, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi there. President Donald Trump very publicly says that mail-in voting raises the potential of massive election fraud. What evidence is there to back this claim?
There isn't. The president, though, is doing the same thing he's been doing over the last 3.5 years. It's really hard to believe anything that comes from the president, especially when he continues to say that so many things that are out there are fake news. When you look at what the president says, it's often, if you look at the opposite, he's projecting a lot of negativity and saying that the Postal Service is not equipped to do this when it is. We have a long tradition in history, over 200 years of our Postal Service getting our mail, whether or not rain, sleet, or snow. And when I'm talking to my friends who work in the Postal Service, the morale is down, but a lot of that is coming from as a result of the president's attacks on the Postal Service, not because of their inability to do their jobs.
Now, with the president discouraging mail-in voting, doesn't that also hurt the Republicans? I mean, from what we know about mail-in voting in the past, does one party benefit more than the other?
Well, if you have been a party that has talked and given bad information to Americans regarding, for instance, this pandemic, in terms of telling people that they don't need to wear masks when the science says that we should, when you're sending students back to school, when the science is saying in some of these areas where there is high incidence of the virus that they should not be going back to school. We've seen just right in the president's rally in Oklahoma, where so many people came in. He didn't get the numbers he anticipated for that rally, thank goodness. But unfortunately, even presidential candidate Herman Cain, who was at that rally, contracted the virus and then died a few weeks later. So the negativity and the response that we're getting from the Republicans, especially in what we call red states or traditionally Republican states, we're seeing bad information that is harming the livelihood and the lives of Americans because of just misinformation. And the misinformation is not coming from the press, it's coming directly from the president.
Atiba, the president has indicated, although not outrightly, that if he loses, he will not accept the results because of possible mail-in voting fraud. What are the ramifications if he does reject an electoral defeat?
We haven't seen anything like this. I mean, if we go back to 2000, we remember Al Gore and his contesting of the election because of what happened in Florida against his election when he ran against President George Bush. But let's go back to 2016. When the president was asked in that third debate, would he accept the results of the election? He said it then on the stage with Hillary Clinton that he wasn't sure. It depends on what the election outcome was. We just have to keep going back to the tape and just going back to the history. The president has already told us he's not a good loser. And this is like he's playing a game of The Apprentice. He's like an apprentice being president. And the American people are really fed up in terms of what's been going on. And I think that what they are more afraid of, he and the Republicans, are that there are going to be a lot of voters that want to cast their ballots and actually fire the president.